Hello everybody and welcome to my YouTube channel, Dream of Crafts. My name is Deanna and today I wanted to come to you and show you some of the flowers from my AliExpress haul. I'm going to be doing a project and I needed some flowers, so I thought this would be a good time to do some of the flowers that I haven't done yet that I had promised a while back. So we're going to start with a die from, let me get this out of here. It is from LX Craft Store, and this is I print up the papers so I know when I get the die what it looks like, and then I put the die in this package also. So the die comes like this. It has this piece here. And then it has these two pieces. So you've got these two. It does have a stem, which I'm not going to use, but it does have a stem. In addition to that, it has two different leaves. And the leaves look like, let me get here, they are a double, like a double leaf. And then a single leaf. Okay. So that is what the leaves look like. So it comes with those two. And it also comes with this plate here with all these little cutouts. Now what I do with those is I take them off my cutting mat and then I put them on my foam mat here. If you don't have a foam mat, you can use like a silicone mat that you might have from like your kitchen, and that will help give a cushion, or layers of paper or something like that will also give you a little cushion if you need it. And you don't need to have a fancy set of these. You can use, I have some of my old tools and they have the little ball. Anything you can find that has like a little ball on the end for these. Bigger things you could use like ink pens, like any smooth surface. If it's plastic or anything like that, it will help. You're going to need something small for these. So I went in after I got them all on my mat here, or you can do it before, and then I just put a little dot in the center. This just happens to be a Jelly Roll pen, and so I pre-marked a lot of those. So then what I did with these is I went in with my little tool here and I just pressed in the center of these. Now this particular die here makes enough to do 2 sets of these flowers, I think, from what the picture kind of looks like. And now you kind of use that as a guide. And so I'm just pressing these in. So I won't press them all in, but you just go in and you press the center. These are tiny. So then I will show you what I did. Let me make sure I have enough here. All right. So this is one I have finished, and that is with the leaves. And then this is one without the leaves put together. And then this is one where the two pieces are put together, and then this is the two of these put together. And I take these and I turn them upside down. Now you can do this 2 ways, and I'll show you. I took my ball tool and I just, whoops, got that wrong way. I want to curl them up, so I'm sorry. I'm going to leave them facing up and just curl them up like that. Okay, this is a small one. Right? So you can also take a tool and curl them up like this. So like a pencil. And I'm just kind of holding it because you don't want to pull too hard because they are kind of thin. So, but see, you can just use something. You could even just use your nail if you wanted, you know, and curl it up. So that curls those up. So this one's already glued together. So we're going to go ahead and use this one. And what I found was easier for me was to glue these on before I put them on the flower itself. So I came in with my art glitter glue, and I just started putting little dabs of glue on the very ends, and I would do, you know, 5, 6 at a time, just so my glue didn't dry up and I wasn't in the way of the other flowers that I just put on. Then I took my tweezers and I would just pick one up and sit it on the glue dot, just like that. Just sit them on. And then kind of, whoops, missed one. Kind of let them tack up a little bit here. And then I'm gonna, whoops, was I even in? I'm gonna zoom in a little bit so you can see, and I'm gonna try to be real careful to stay in frame for you, okay? So I'm gonna put a couple more glue dots on here, on these other edges, just like so. And then we'll come in with the tweezers and start just putting those right on the ends of those glue dots there. Shouldn't say glue dots because they're not dots, they're actual just little dabs of glue, I guess would be the correct word. Okay. These are a little time consuming, but they're cute, you know, so I wouldn't say I'd sit and make hundreds of them, but they are cute. So now, while I've got just a little bit, only 4 to do there, I'm going to go ahead and attach. Yeah, I'm going to let that sit a second. I'll show you what I did with these. So I took these and then I just put them upside down and took my ball tool and ran it right down the center, pulling in towards the center, giving them a nice curl, and then flipped them over and flattened out the center a little bit. Okay, so curl, 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 just like that. Flattened out the center. Came in with my art glitter glue, put a dab in the center, and then brought the other one in and offset them, just like that. Okay, just like that. Now, I don't want to sit that on my mat because I don't want glue on my mat. So now let's go ahead and take our other piece, and I'm going to zoom back out here just a little bit so you can see. There we go. So I'm going to take my little piece. I'm going to put glue on the bottom of that, and I hope that you didn't miss me gluing this together. I bet you did. Okay, so I just glued one on top of the other. Now I'm going to glue this on top of there, just like that. You can use hot glue if you want. I do have my hot glue gun heating up because of other flowers I'm making need a hot glue gun. So just like that. And now we're going to go in and we'll just put a couple dabs of glue on these end pieces here. Oops, that was a pretty good dab. And then come back in and set these flowers on there, just like that. Oops. So it's a little fussy, but they are very cute when they're done. All right, so now I'm just going to let that one sit and dry. I'm going to come back to one of these here that's been drying for a while. And let me zoom back in to show you what I was doing with these. Let me see here. I want to give you a good view. Okay. So you can see that even though they're cupped, they're kind of flattened out. So what I did was I came back and I just pulled these forward, the shorter ones, pulled it forward and then bent it kind of backwards. So it kind of tips its face towards you. And I did that just to the center, the smaller center one. Brought it up, tipped it, pulled up, tipped back, pull up, tip back. And it just kind of gives it more dimension, fills it in a little bit. And I just left the shorter ones, or I mean the longer ones, where they were, because then it just kind of filled it in nicely. Now there is no directions with these dies. So when I do this, it's just how I perceived what it looks like. I don't know if that's how they put theirs together. There's no way of me knowing because they do not do any tutorial videos on these. So this is what I come up with. And then once this dries down a little bit, then I will go in and do that too. So now with the leaves, all I did was tipped them over. Oops, if I can get it to tip. Ran the ball down the center like so, pulled it in, flipped it over, and then just on the, like the end of the leaf where it would connect to the plant, I just came back in and flattened that back the other way. So then this can just be, I can just, if I can get a hold of it, I can just add glue to that little tip that I bent back up and attach it underneath. Same with this. I can just attach that underneath. And that's what I did with this one here. And I just glued that in there. So that's it for that one. Let's get ready for our next one. And I thought this one was kind of fun. Again, that was Alex Craft Store, and that die was $3.48 for 8-piece die. Okay. So we'll get ready for the next one. Okay. For our next one, we're going to be using this die here, and it's from Piggy Craft. It's a 4-piece flower die. It is $2.57, and I just happen to have 2 of them because I accidentally ordered 2. And this picture here, I believe they used Fomarian. I don't have any foam to do flowers like this. So I came up with the best interpretation I could for this flower. And I have several different versions using the same die. So we have one like this. Now this one here was wet, and I'm using all Graphic 45 scraps for these because I'm working on a Graphic 45 project. So this one, I wetted it down with my little spritzer, my little spray bottle, and then took my ball tool and just ran the petals inward, pressed them pretty good. So it's kind of got a nice little effect there. This one here, I wetted down with my little spray bottle, and I crumpled them all up into little balls and let it dry, and then unfolded it. Now, if you're using Graphic 45 paper, it tears pretty easy when it's wet. So you'll have to just unfold them kind of easily. So that gives a different effect. This one here, I did dry. So I used the ball tool. I flipped them upside down and curved in with the ball tool. So I'd go in and I'd run my tool just like this around that edge and get it to cup that way. So that's the difference between the wet and the dry. The wet is a little more wrinkly looking, which is kind of cool effect. And then, even though it doesn't show it in the picture, I took them and made a rose. So we're going to do the rose because that's going to be the most difficult. So I have cut 2 sets of that same die. So I've got 2 big, then the next 2 size down, then the next 2, and then the smallest. So there's 4 sizes. We've got 2 of each here. And we're going to start with our smallest one. And I'm just going to lightly mist these. And I don't want to mist them on my foam because it can damage the foam. Now with this one, I'm just going to take my ball tool and I'm just going to press. If you don't have a ball tool, that's fine. You can, and actually I'm going to press it this way because I want those inside. These are going to fold up inside. You can use the bottom of an ink pen and just press in there. And we're going to take these and we're going to pair them up together. So I'm going to pinch those together like that. give a little pinch, and then the one that's kind of across from it, these got 5 petals, so there's nothing directly across. I'm going to pinch that, and then I'm going to glue one inside the other, okay? So I'm just going to take a little bit of glue on each side there, hot glue, and get those pinched together here. It's like that. And then I'm just going to continue on and put a little glue down at the bottom there. This won't be seen so much. It's wet, so it doesn't want to hold. Maybe I'll do them dry, be faster. So we're just going to keep going around. With it and curling it back around itself there. And this does work better with a 4-petal flower. Whoops, excuse me a second. Sorry about that interruption. Here we go. So we're going to take our small piece and we're going to glue that down into the bottom of this piece here. Blue string. And I'm going to try to center it, but keep it offset from the other petals. So I want that to tack up a little bit, because if I start moving it too quick, then it's going to move around and it'll be crooked. So you want your openings to be like, here's a petal and there's an opening where there's not a petal. Okay. So let's go ahead and put a little glue on here. Down at the bottom there. And then kind of push that up and cup it just like that. I'm just pinching it. I'm going to try to stay in frame here for you. And then we're going to run another bead of glue just like that. You can see I'm about in the middle there. And I'm just cupping that, pressing it up against there. And do the same thing all the way around. So about in the middle there. A little spread of glue. And so that's going on the outside of that petal, and it'll be on the inside of the next petal. Okay. So, and there's a ton of videos out there with different kinds of roses. So, okay. And then again, the last one, just a little bit in the center there. And then cup that like that. Okay, so that's about all I'm going to use for the bud part of my rose. We're going to go to the medium size one here. And I'm going to just rub my ball around just the tips there. Just around the edges there. Just like that. Then I'm going to come in here. Oops. Kind of do that. And then that's going to, that's big. That's a big one. I'm going to do that the opposite way. So I'm going to cup it inside like I was there. Cup it inside. Add a little amount of glue to the bottom there. Press it in, again alternating the petals. Okay. And then we're just going to glue down to the bottom. Bring it in, and then I'm going to bend this petal back a little bit like that, okay? Just kind of like that. So kind of get it to cup and bend it back. Okay, next petal, cup it, and as it's drying, then kind of bend it back. So we're still kind of cupping around, but we're bending that top part of that petal back just a little bit. Give it some more character there. Round, and then I'm just going to kind of tip it back with my finger there. Same here. Cup it around like that. and then kind of bend it back. Give these all a little bit of, there we go. Okay. Oops, there we are. Okay, like that. Let's do this here. Get the wrong part down at the bottom there, and then come back in and that like that. Bring that back out. Okay. All right. Get the glue strings off of me here. Whoops. Whoa. Another dab of glue. Offset the petals. That went flying. Stuck to my finger. Okay, so I'm just putting this where this petal's offset. And I'm going to just kind of hold it in the middle like that. Makes it a little easier. And then I'm going to start just putting the glue there. That'll work. And then bring these up like that. Leaving them open a little bit. Sorry about that. I didn't mean to have that so far away from me there. Like that. Okay. So these will be open just a little bit more. All right. I'm just kind of bending. Whoops! It gets a little difficult to hold it. That one, that one, that one. Okay, I think they've all got a little bit. There we go. So these ones I'm going to come back in and bend down a little bit too. Okay. Kind of smash those down. We want to kind of round those back out. All right, I'm going to put some more glue in this one here. Just down in there a little bit to get that to adhere. There we go. All right, so then we go to the next size. This one, I'm going to get these facing back. Round that out like that. And then come in here and start cupping that like that. And then I'm just going to put this in there like so. Okay. Just like so. And then kind of hold it up around there. Put some extra glue in just to get it to hold up along the bottom there. Like that. That is warm, so I'm going to burn my fingers. All right. And then do the same for these two here. Just a little puddle of glue down in there so that we can get this to kind of hold up there a little bit. Just kind of cupping it together until that glue kind of sets up a little bit. Okay. Do the same thing with this one here. We're going to get these to curve out, curve down, flip it over, and then bring those in. Okay. And I'm going to make sure my glue's around there like that. And then offset again. Just like so. Take one of the bigger ones. I'm going to do the same thing, flip it over. And I did not wet these, and that's fine if you want to wet yours. I just find with graphic 45 papers, for some reason, they just seem to tear so easy when they're wet. So I know when I used my regular cardstock paper, I don't have any problem smudging that and getting the flowers. Okay. So here we go. Again, a nice good band of glue there, offset, and put it in there like so. that. See, it's making a nice flower. And let's just go do this last one here too. So since I have it cut. Just another way to make a different flower with that same die. Okay. So just a plain flower, you have something a little different. All right. So there, we have another flower. So that one again is this die here from Piggy Craft, 4-piece flower die, $2.57. So I created, this is the one we just made. Also made this one. So that, now this one I didn't use as many. This one only used, I think, 2 small ones and then one of each of the other ones. So for the rose. And then this was the crinkled or the wet one with the ball tool. This one was wet and crinkled up into a ball and then brought back out. So all of these, I got glue attached to me. All of these were made with this same die here. Right? And then this is what the picture looks like that it shows in the website. So, and like I said, I'm pretty sure that's Fomarian foam, and that's what that looks like to me. I've seen it before in person, and that kind of looks like Fomarian to me. But with paper, I mean, you don't have the movement and the flow. You can't heat it up and do what you can with Fomarian, but makes a nice set of flowers, and you get a variety. So let's go ahead and move on to our next one. Okay, so this will be our third flower here. This one is also from LX Craft Store, and it is a lily. Let me get, there we go. Get the glare off. And this one was $2.20, and it comes with the 2 dies there. Let me break these up a second so you can see. Comes with the 2 dies, the leaves, and a stem. I'm not using the stem, and I do have the leaves cut out here. And then it also comes with, I'm not seeing it in here, but it comes with this little stamen. So I'm not sure where this went, but it does come with this die too. So I have pre-done one, and it looks like this. It is cute. And I'll show you how I did that. All right. So let's get our other ones out of the way here. So I have one of each cut here, and they are, one is just a tiny bit smaller than the other. So what I've done is I've flipped this over, and with my tool or whatever rounded edge you have that you can use, I'm just gonna come in here and kind of get those to cup a little bit. You can wet them if you want, okay? And then I'm going to come in and push down on the center. I don't want to break it, but if you do, for some reason, if you break it, then you can go ahead and just glue it back on there as best you can. So just rounding that out and pressing that. Now I'm going to attach this one inside of this one, altering it. This one is so easy. this one is so easy, and I just really love it. I was real happy with this one. I haven't made any of these other than the ones we're working on, the ones I prepped to work on, and the ones that we're doing together. I have not went through and made any of these yet. So these are my first ones too. So, whoops, get back in there. Get back in there. Okay, well that sets up, maybe. That's setting up. I want to go ahead, and you can just take these two and just round the edges if you want. You don't have to use the ball tool. You can just round the edges of them if you want with a pencil. All right, so now I'm going to take our little stamens here, And I just used, this is just like a needle tool. And I took it and I just, with that little tab there, I just started wrapping that around and rolling it up onto itself, getting it to roll here. And then once I got it kind of the fibers broken to roll, right, like that, then I'm going to take a little dab of glue and put it on that tab. Like that. And then roll this back up again so it glues itself on there. Whoops. Once it's rolled too, you really don't need the tool anymore. And I'm going to let that glue set up there a second. And then I just took this glitter here. It's called Fire Opal. It was a Martha Stewart glitter. And I chose that because it was kind of the brownish coppery colors that the pollen is on these. Usually I have these type of flowers in my garden, so they're kind of that brownish color. And I thought, well, that will work to do that. So I'm just going to get glue, a good dab of glue on each side, and I'm kind of going to extend a little bit because pollen extends down long on these plants. It's not just at the tip, it's kind of long looking if you have seen lilies. And then I'm going to open my glitter here, and be careful because the last time I used it I spilt it. And I'm just going to put that inside of my glitter here and let that coat. Grab my tweezers. There we go. Kind of do a little tap tap. There we go. And there we have our pollinated stamens. That easy. Put the cap on so I don't knock it over. And I'm just going to let this dry a couple seconds. So I'm going to set this somewhere where it's, if some of that falls off there, I don't have glitter all over. Okay. So now I want to shape my flower. And with lilies, you got 3 that are up and then 3 that come up behind it. So kind of like that. So let's go ahead and get our ball tool and just kind of press these up. So I'm holding the ball tool in there and bringing these up into each other. And then it was easier for me to put a dollop of glue in there. So I put a nice dollop of glue inside the center there. And then I brought my stamens in with tweezers and sat it in there. And then brought these up kind of close together like that and held them until the glue was kind of dry. So just kind of like that. Just until my glue was dry. That way it kind of held that lily shape while it dried. And then once it's dry, then you can kind of move it around a little bit. So I'm just going to go ahead and set that aside and let that dry. But again, this is kind of what you end up with. So looks nice. Now I didn't attach any leaves to these. Yeah, but these are what the leaves look like. I have not attached. I'm not going to use the stem because the project I'm working on doesn't need any stems on the flowers. I might use leaves to kind of fill in, but with the leaves, what I would do is tip them backwards and then just kind of cup them so that they get a good shape on them. So I would just kind of like that, just get them shaped like I did the other ones. And then if you need to, you can flatten that back out. This part that you're going to attach, you would just flatten back out on the other side. Gives them a nice shape. Flip it, flatten it back out. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and get the next one. Okay. So let's go ahead with our final one for today. This one is also from LX Craft Store, and this is what the picture looks like. This one was $2.65. So, and it comes with, it comes with another stem, which I didn't use, and I did not cut the leaves out. It comes up with a couple different leaves. I did cut out the 2 different size flowers, and this one too. And then it also came with this little plate here, similar to the one we did earlier, but these are about half that size. So these ones were a little bit more difficult to work with. So let's go ahead and work on that. So I pre-put together partial one. We're going to come back and finish this one with the little center pieces because I've got them here. I'm kind of drying and getting ready. So what I did was I took these and I misted it. And then I took my ball tool and kind of rolled the ball along there. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to lightly remist it in my hand. And then I come in and I pinch these together. Just the tips. And this is not real wet. It's just barely wet, just damp. Okay. So I just kind of scrunch those up a little bit. Okay, just like that. I'm going to do the same thing here again. I'm just going to give it a light mist and then pinch those, just the ends. I've kind of got my thumb about halfway up, so I'm not going to rip it. I don't want to tear it. I'm just going to fold those edges. Okay. And again, with this one, there was no directions. I'm just going by what the picture looks like and trying to recreate that to the best of my ability. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and attach this one. This is just regular cardstock. I've cut it in 2 different colors. We're going to try to alternate these petals here like that. Just like that. Perfect. Okay. I cut 2 deeper colored turquoise ones and then 2 of the lighter turquoise. And then I switched the next piece to a darker piece for the light one and a lighter piece for the dark one. So now this, I just kind of took my tool, and I didn't wet it, and I just kind of lightly hit it so the ends curl up a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and I'll just attach that with my art glitter glue because it's a small little thing there. So I'm just going to attach that to the center. Now I did use some, excuse me, of my Ranger ink. I used my peacock feathers to kind of darken the center of both of those. So I don't know if you'll be able to tell it, but I did ink those a little bit. And once you mist it, it kind of fans the ink out a little bit. So you can see I started putting the little tiny pieces in, and they're not very cupped. And so I was doing it when they were dry, like I did the other ones, just using my tool and poking it down. But they're so small that what I did was I opened my water bottle, dipped the ball tool in there, and then tried to get them to cup. And I'm hoping that they will hold together better. I've been trying to let them sit here to kind of dry up a little bit. But with it dry, they just wanted to reopen. So it might just be the way they're going to be. This is quite fussy, but I'm going to try to finish it together here. Excuse me, I'm getting a dry throat. So I'm going to come in here and I'm just going to put some of my art glitter glue down, and I'm just kind of puddling it up in there. And I might redo some in the center here to get some of these to stand up taller. And there is 20 in a thing, so let's see. I did cut it twice, but I'm not going to do both of those in. So I'm going to come in with my tweezers, and I'm just going to pick these up and start putting them down in there. And like I said, the first ones I did, they didn't stay cupped because I did them dry. So I'm trying to put these in there and not get glue on my tweezers, because then they'll start sticking to my tweezers. So I think if I was going to do a bunch of these, I would use my other die that I have of this type of little tiny center flower. It's the one we put on here because they're a little bit bigger, a little easier to work with. And so I don't know. It's kind of, to me, this is kind of fussy. So, all right. We'll get it in there and get a good representation of hopefully what it's supposed to look like. I wish they would do some little tutorials to show how they put them together, but they never do. So, all right. So that is kind of what I ended up with, is that. And it's not a bad looking flower, but you could just do this and then maybe, let's see, what could we do in here instead? Let me cut these up a little bit. We could put a gem in there, or let's just put a little dab of maybe glitter in there. I mean, that is cute. It does give you some extra little flowers. Let's see here. What do I got? Let's keep it simple. Let's just go ahead and put a gem in the center. Just keep it real simple. So let's just go ahead and grab one of these pink ones here, since our other one's pink. These are just Hobby Lobby gems. These are from the jewelry department. And I want to say it's about $10 for the box. But if you wait till they go on sale, 50% off, or if you use a coupon, 40% off. And I know it's hard to get things right now because a lot of the stores aren't open, but all right. So I'm just going to put that pink gem in there, and we're going to call that one done. So yeah, that's not too bad. I mean, it's cute flowers, something different. So, and this is the project that I'm going to be working on. Let me bring it over here. I got this at Goodwill. Actually, it was my church store. Similar to, we have a church store in town where people donate stuff, and then the church supports the store, sends money to Africa to create wells for some of the people that don't have water. So I quite often will shop there and donate there, just because it's a good cause. So I'm going to be doing a project with this with Graphic 45. So that is it. So I wanted to some of my dies that I've been waiting to use. I don't know why I've been waiting. I've been working on other things. But so that gives us four different ones today. So I'll be making some more up here as soon as I can. So if you're not a subscriber, please do so at this time. You can hit that red subscribe button down in the right hand corner. And then when the bell pops up, go ahead and hit that, and you'll be notified each time I put up a new video. And as always, have a nice day. Bye.